Alright, here's your condensed, cinematic, American-style voiceover script for YouTube 12001350 words. With a strong hook, sharp 3-act pacing, surprising twists, vivid dialogue, and a controversial open ending. This version is trimmed, punchier, and sticks to natural storytelling with a real American flavor. You ever see someone so high on their own rules, you start counting down the days till karma kicks in? Well, pull up a chair. Because the story I'm about to tell you about how our queen of the HOA found herself on the business end of a sheriff's handcuff hits every note. And yeah, there's a bear. Of course there's a bear. Let's get this rolling. My name's Nick. And if you've ever lived in a mountain town, you know how things work. Everybody knows your dog's name. And you don't mess with the trash or the wildlife. But when Miranda Caldwell rolled into Cedar Ridge Pines, she acted like she'd been sent to civilize a bunch of hillbillies. You could see it from the way she looked at us like we were the problem, not her. First time I met her? HOA meeting. Potluck in the church basement. She's in brand new boots, armed with a 3-ring binder, and already picking apart the state of the neighborhood. Next thing you know, she's president nobody even remembers voting. But there she is, making speeches about community standards, while the rest of us are just trying to get home before the deer hit dusk. The main thing with Miranda? Trash. She had a real thing about how we handle waste. But here's the kicker. She was the worst at following her own rules. Out here, you use the bear-proof dumpsters. End of story. Takes 3 minutes. But Miranda? She thought she was above it, leaving bags at the edge of her woods, like the bears would just skip her house out of respect. One evening, my neighbor Tom Harper, bless him, the man could teach a class on patience, tries to reason with her. Ma'am, the bears will get into that if you leave it out. And Miranda, without missing a beat, snaps. Don't mansplain wildlife to me. Tom, I have a fence. And besides, it's only temporary. Her fence, by the way, wouldn't stop a squirrel with an attitude. Next morning, there's trash everywhere. But not just anywhere, piled right along Tom's property line. Like some passive-aggressive art installation. Tom's standing there, coffee in hand, looking like he wants to disappear. That's when we all see the black bear. Not a little one either, big, bold, and zero respect for Miranda's designer trash bags. You'd think Miranda would take a hint. But nope. She calls the cops, tells them Tom's endangering the community, starts talking about public health and backwards mountain folk. Sheriff Barker shows up, does the rounds, and finds Miranda's mail in the garbage. Gives her a warning. Nice and clear, ma'am. One more time, and you're getting cited. She just smiles, all teeth, and says, "Of course, officer." It must have blown over from Tom's yard. But you know how people are when they're convinced they're always right. That night, Tom's trail cam catches Miranda dragging bags into the woods midnight. Slippers and robe. Muttering under her breath. Out of sight. Out of mind. Yeah, Miranda, but not out of a bear's nose. Now, here's the part nobody saw coming. That same bear, probably still hungry from the night before, follows the scent straight back to Miranda's cabin. She's left the kitchen window cracked. Because her words, mountain air is refreshing. 2 hours later, her perfect living room's in shreds. I get called in with wildlife response. And the scene's just, there's no other word biblical. Cabinets ripped off. Sofa gutted. Granola everywhere. And Miranda? She rolls up the next morning, takes one look, and loses her mind. You could hear her screaming halfway down the valley. "I'm trying to wrangle bear scat." And she's on the phone with 911. her insurance, and get the Usher real estate agent. Those people did this to me. She's yelling, pointing right at Tom's house. They're jealous. They want me gone. The sheriff shows up again. It's a summer night. He checks Tom's property. Nothing. Checks the dumpsters. All good. That's when Tom, who's been standing back this whole time, quietly says, "You might want to check the trail cam." We all huddle around his phone. And there it is, Miranda. Busted in HD. But here's the twist. Miranda tries to flip it, screaming about invasion of privacy and illegal surveillance. She even yells at Mrs. Olson, our 80-year-old neighbor, who was just out for a walk with her poodle. "You're all out to get me. You want to ruin my life because I have standards." That's when the sheriff finally has enough. "Mrs. Caldwell, you're being cited for illegal dumping, wildlife endangerment, and making a false report." And Miranda? She laughs, honest to God laughs like it's a joke. "I'm the president of the HOA. You can't do this to me. My husband's a lawyer. I'll own this county." He just pulls out the cuffs. "Ma'am, please turn around." The whole neighborhood's watching from their porches. Nobody's saying a word. You could feel the satisfaction, like we'd all been waiting for this. In court, Miranda tries to spin at crease, blames the toxic environment, says we bullied her. The judge isn't buying a word. She gets hit with a $5,000 fine, 200 hours community service, and probation. Her insurance won't pay a dime, willful negligence. She's stuck with $70,000 in damages. And by the time it's over, she's in a county vest scraping gum off benches with the rest of us pretending not to see. But here's the part nobody forget: the next HOA meeting. The board votes her out. And Tom, usually the quietest guy in the room, just says, "Let's all try picking up after ourselves from now on." Laughter, real laughter, fills the room. For the first time in months, Cedar Ridge Pines feels like home again. You'd think that'd be the end. But around here, nothing's ever simple. Some folks still say Miranda got railroaded, that we were too hard on an outsider who just wanted to make things better. Others, they say she got exactly what was coming to her, maybe a little overdue. So, let me throw it to you. What do you think? Was justice served? Or did we take things too far? Have you ever seen a meltdown like this in your own neighborhood? Drop your stories down in the comments. I want to know, where do you draw the line between keeping order and letting people live? And hey, if you're ever tempted to cut corners with your trash in Bear Country, remember, around here, karma's got claws.